just want to say thank you to all of my supporters out there, everyone who sent me kind messages, who shouted me out, who let their friends know, who subscribed, who liked, who commented. I just want to thank you so much. You don't know how much that means to me. To those who aren't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Like, come on now, it's time to subscribe. Like, I have so much more in store for y'all. Y'all not even ready for real. As you can see from the title of this video, I got caught creeping. Yes, I got caught creeping, y'all. I got caught slipping. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, it just wasn't my time. So let me set the story up for you real quick. So this was my sophomore year in high school. I had like just turned 16. You know, I just knew I was grown. Like, I just knew the world revolved around me, and you couldn't really tell me nothing because I was grown. Like, I was grown, period. I had just gotten my permit. You know, I was whipping around the neighborhood a little bit. didn't get my license yet. That's a whole nother story when I got my license. But yeah, you know, I just knew I was grown. And at the time, I had a boyfriend. His name was Rashawn. So, there was this boy who was like a mutual friend of me and my then boyfriend at the time. We're gonna call him Evan. That's what we're gonna call him. If you know the story, you know his real name. But yeah, we're gonna call him Evan. And so Evan's house was like a couple houses down from mine. It wasn't too far. Like, I could see his house from my house. And Evan was having a party at his house. And so my boo Rashawn, he was like, yeah, you should come to the party. Like, I want to see you. I want to spend time with you. You know, all that cute lovey-dovey high school, like, relationship stuff, right? So I was like, yeah, totally, I'm going to go to this party. Wrong. Y'all don't know my parents. So I'm not going to say my parents were strict, but they were not about to let me out the house to go to some party with some boys. Point blank, period. That was not gonna happen. And I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But you know, I told you I thought I was grown, so I thought I was gonna go. So I was plotting. I had went up to my room, I was thinking everything out, and I was like, okay, I got this. So before all of this happened, one of my friends was supposed to come over, my friend Kennedy. And remember this, remember that Kennedy was supposed to come over too. So yes, Kennedy was supposed to come over, and she was on her way to my house. But as Kennedy was coming over, I was still plotting on how I was finna go to this party and spend time with my little boo. Great. So I'm in my room, I'm like, okay, so what can I do to like divert my dad from knowing that I'm finna go to this party? Oh, and mind you, like, my mom wasn't home at this time because she was out on a business trip, so it was just like me, my dad, and my sister in the house. You know, we were just chilling, having a great time. So I was like, what am I finna do? Bingo. So I went downstairs and I was like, Dad, like, you look so tired. Like, you should go to sleep. Like, what are you? You're tired. Go to sleep. But I looked at me. He said, I'm not tired. I was like, you're supposed to be tired so I can sneak out the house. But he wasn't. So I was like, back to the drawing board. You know, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna go to this party. So I go back upstairs and I'm like, okay, I got it. So I went back downstairs, and by this time, like, I high-key think my dad had caught on that I was trying to sneak out of the house. So he had started to play along with it too. And he deserves an award for this acting that he did, because I was fooled. I just knew I had it all in the bag. So he's like packing all his stuff up that he was working on downstairs, and he goes upstairs. And so I'm like, hey, Dad, let's turn on the air. It's like so hot in this house. Like, oh my God, I'm dying, it's hot. And like, when we turned on our air conditioning, like, it made noises which I thought would be loud enough to mask the sound of me sneaking out of the house. Boy, was I wrong. So we turn the air on, my dad goes in his room. I'm just thinking everything's all, you know, biscuits and gravy. So I creep down the stairs. I'm creeping. So I creep. Anyways, so yes, I was creeping downstairs, and I was just like, I was being quiet like a little mouse. I was like, ding, 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 down the stairs. So I get to the front door. Yes, I snuck out the front door like an idiot. Who sneaks out the front door? Apparently me, because I don't know. I did not know what I was doing. I had never snuck out the house before. Like, I was a good kid. But you know, you do crazy things when you think you're grown. So I sneak out the front door, and I turn around and I close the door, and I make it like real soft, so like you can't hear it, but I leave it open so I can get back in the house, because I I didn't take my key like an idiot, because if I would have got locked out, that would have been even, actually that would have been better than what happened. So I had made it out the house, and my boo was in the front yard. He had made me a lei. If you know what a lei is, this is a lei. It's like somewhere over here wherever I put the picture. So yes, he had made me a lei, and I just knew, that was just the cutest thing in the world. I'm just in the front yard, just on cloud 9. It was just so sweet. He made me a lei. You know, we was giggling, talking, caking it up. You know, his friends was out there too. We was just having a good old time. Until all of a sudden I hear, "What you doing?" Oh, y'all, when I tell you that my heart dropped straight into my stomach. Like, if you ever been on a very, you know, high roller coaster and you finna go over the little hump and you finna drop straight down into the ground, that's exactly how I felt in that moment. Because I just knew I didn't think my life was over. So I'm just cheesing from ear to ear. You can see all my teeth in my mouth, because when I get nervous, I tend to smile. So I'm just cheesing. So I turn around, and it's my daddy. It's my daddy looking straight at me. And to kind of, you know, describe how my daddy looks like I have a big dad, and like not big as in like fat big. Like my dad is like 6'7". He tall. He's buff and he's bald. My daddy is intimidating if you first meet him, and I think that was the first time ever in my life I was ever that intimidated of my own daddy. So I turn around, I'm looking at him, I'm just like, he's like, go inside. I'm like, oh, okay. Boy, you saying bull in that hole, gone. I go in the house, he's right behind me on my heels. He's like, go to your room. I'm like, you ain't gotta tell me twice, because I am terrified. So I get into my room. Boy, when I tell you he took everything, the only thing I had left in that house was the air to breathe. And I barely had that. And I hope y'all remember, I told you my friend Kennedy was coming over. Yeah, she was. So I didn't have a phone, I didn't have a computer, I had no way to communicate, you know, with the outside world. So she had came to my house and I didn't even know. And so my daddy, he was telling her, he was like, yeah, you need to go home, you know, call your parents, you know, no. And I didn't even know any of this was happening. So I'm just in my room, I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of sad because, you know, I was like trying to spend time with my boo, you know, I was trying to go to a party, I was just trying to be grown. But then it all backfired on me. So like I said, I was, you know, cut off from the outside world for the whole weekend. And I think it happened on like I want to say it happened on like a Saturday. It was either a Friday or a Saturday. It was like one of those days. So I'm cut off from the world. I just have my air to breathe, my sadness to soak in. And so Monday rolls around. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, nobody knows about it except the people that went to the party. So like, why am I even tripping? So I get to school. Why the whole school know that I got caught sneaking out? Come to find out, when I had went upstairs, you know, to go be on punishment, my daddy had other plans. So my dad went downstairs and got on his bike, and he chased the boys around the neighborhood. And my daddy has a custom-made bike because he is like a taller person. So he out here running the streets with a custom-made bike, chasing these boys on this bike. And so when I had got to school on Monday, they was like, Jess, your daddy Debo, he went all through the neighborhood, he was chasing us, yada yada yada. And I was like, oh my god. It was like a whole BMX race in my neighborhood. I had no clue about it because I was on punishment. I was like,
how do you order a casket? Like, can I get one now?
Cause I was dead. I was like, you lying. They were calling my daddy Debo at school. I just knew my life was over. I just knew it was over. Basically, he was just trying to emphasize the point that you don't need to be in my yard no more. Like, no, none of this needs to happen. Like, you gonna respect my house, my property, and my daughter. But at the time, I was just like, Dad, you doing too much. I came home and I was like, you really chased them on the bike? And he did. And he was like, yeah, I did it. Like, one thing with my dad, he he is not afraid to let anybody know what he's done. Like, it don't matter to me. It's nothing. And so I'm just like, why would you? I just don't understand, like, what went through my daddy's head. I don't know what I was thinking. To sneak out of the front freaking door. Who does that? You know who does that? Me. Inexperienced people who sneak out of the house trying to be grown when they aren't grown. Matter of fact, I know my little sister is watching this. Do not sneak out of the house. Don't do it. Learn from my mistakes. And that goes for anybody watching this video, y'all. Like, I mean, if you slick, you slick, but honey, when you think you slick, you ain't slick at all. I promise you. Your parents are always 10 steps ahead of you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. You know, it was just like a little quick, funny rundown of memory lane. I have a ton of more stories, a ton of more everything. Just keep with me, y'all. I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. But you just gotta stay with me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and tell your friends. Bye. Why? Oh, I don't got no lip gloss. Hold on. I need lip gloss. Right.